Hi, this is Ben Ivey, the fulfillment artist, and today I'm going to be teaching you 6 principles to create an outstanding relationship. Now, I gave this talk recently at the Leadership Toastmasters in Shanghai, and it went down really well. So I thought I would share some of the principles with you so that you can better understand how to have a relationship. Now, I'm not talking about a relationship with your phone. Most people are obsessed with this thing. It's crazy. No, I'm not going to throw it. It's actually just a case. But you know what I mean. How many people do you see that they wake up, they look at their phone? They're on the toilet, they're still looking at their phone. They're on the subway, their phone. Before they go to bed, they check their phone. People are mostly in love with their phone. Now, I'm not going to talk about that today because most people are addicts. Instead, I want to talk about another human. I don't have a human here, but if I was, I would have them here. Now, I want you to think about how you can create an outstanding relationship. So the first thing that you've got to do, principle 1, is manage your perception. Well, what do I mean by this? In life, it's so easy for us to get stressed out and annoyed from our point of view. Because when we perceive something, we believe we're right. I say, no, I'm right. That's correct. You said this. And I'll give you an example. So very often when I'm in Shanghai, the Wi-Fi doesn't work very well. I'm sure you can relate to it if you've been to China. Sometimes happens. Now, the issue that arises there is I'm in a long distance relationship with Ev and she's in LA. So we're talking. And then what will happen is I'll say something and then she won't reply. I'm like, honey, hello. And then she goes, wait, what? And I was like, you're not listening? She goes, no, I'm listening. You didn't say anything. And then suddenly we get into an argument and I'm like, okay, honey, it's the Wi-Fi. Breathe. And you need to manage your perceptions. That's an example. Another thing is when you get into an argument, how often do we blow things out of proportion? Often taking a step back and looking at things long term is so much easier to move your life forward. So I really challenge you to start to think about, okay, is this even worth it? Do I want to have an argument with this person right now? If I genuinely love this person, does this really matter in like a year's time if they forget to put a spoon away in the dishwasher? So it's really important to manage your perception. Next, we need to understand the differences between men and women. So generally speaking, right, a man's brain is like boxes. And we think in a box, and then we have a relationship box, a health box, a box for work, a box for life. There's just lots of boxes. Now, women tend to think in a web, right? Everything is interconnected. So I'll be speaking with my fiance and she'll speak about work and then she'll speak about our relationship and then she'll speak about family and then she'll speak about health and then and I'm just confused. I'm thinking, what is she doing? Which box are we speaking about? And often we just get confused. So we have to understand that men and women think in different ways. And for a lot of people, when we look into the biggest issues that arises in relationships, often a woman will say, I feel like he doesn't understand me. And this arises because a man wants to fix their problem. And I remember chatting to Ev and I said, look, honey, okay, do you want me to fix this or do you want me to listen? Just tell me. And then she goes, I want you to fix it by listening. And I was like, are you serious? Like, really? And one of the best ways a man can be there for a woman is just to listen. And actually, it goes vice versa. I think a lot of women criticize as opposed to listening what's going on with a man. The other thing, which is really key, understanding men and women, is a woman will come from a place of love, wanting to change a man. So, look, I'm only doing this because I love you. I'm only telling you that you need to clear up because I love you and I want you to be better. But the issue that arises is that's criticism. And one of the biggest complaints of men is that I feel like she's trying to change me. So I really challenge you to choose to understand them and speak to them in the way that best serves them. Now, another example, and I can go on all day about this, but I challenge you to read some books diving into this, such as Love and Respect, The 5 Love Languages, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, to start to understand some of these principles more in depth. But a really common one is, I tell men, that you need to be Sherlock Holmes. You need to think that a woman is speaking to you in riddles. And let me explain. A woman may ask you, do you need the toilet? And what does that mean? It means she needs the toilet. And so you've got to translate stuff. And I think that it's really important for men to understand that. So next, on the changing thing, right? I want you to think about that people are perfect just the way they are. So often I hear people complain about their partner. Why why complain about them? There are billions of people in the world. If you don't like your partner, go get a new one. But there's so many people that forget about this. We just keep with the same one and people complain and complain and complain. Why? If you can choose to accept them just the way you are, and I had a conversation with someone in Hong Kong recently, and he was saying that I love her, but there's certain aspects sometimes I want to change. And I said, look, you have to accept her just the way she is. Because if you don't, you're going to get frustrated. You can't force someone to change. And if you want them to be here and they're here, you'll always be frustrated. So we have to really come up with that thing. You know what? People are perfect just the way they are. Your partner is perfect just the way they are. They don't need to clear up. They don't need to change. And by doing this and accepting how they are, you'd be so surprised what happens as a result. So I'd say do it and see what happens. Now, moving on to number 4. We've got attribute positive intent. So what does this mean? Very often in life, we can associate something negative with what our partner has done. Oh, they're late. I bet they're just chilling out with their friends, not even thinking about me. I bet they're just drinking and laughing. I bet there's women there as well. And I bet they're just da, 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 da. And then we go on this downward spiral. And we want to say, they haven't messaged me. They must be doing something bad. And our mind just goes off on one. So instead, I want you to think about how can you attribute positive intent. So if they're late, so, okay, I know they're going to be here as quickly as they can. Something big must have come up. I know they love me. I'm sure they'll be here shortly. And you can start to attribute positive intent. This is actually important for families as well, especially when you're raising children. A child starts getting really, really angry and throwing things. Okay, is he angry? I think he just wants attention. And you change that positive intent, and then suddenly you can interact with them in a different way. And that's really, really key so that you don't start a conversation in a negative way by saying, why are you late? Instead of, welcome home, I'm sure you've had a very stressful day and let me talk to you. Because then you're on their same wavelength. And I think that's really, 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 really key. Okay, next, number 5. There we are, 5, you can see that. We go into a relationship to give, not to get. I hear so many people sharing that, oh, I just feel like I'm giving so much to my partner, but they're not giving me anything back. Or people want a partner to fill a hole in themselves. It's really important in relationships that you see yourselves as two independent beings that are perfectly amazing the way you are. And you don't need to fill a hole in other people, but you come together and go on life's journey together. And by doing that and by seeing the fact that you're these two individual entities and you can choose to give, it will mean you can really start to move forward. There are so many people that will say to me, I want to have more love. If you want to have more love, give more love to others. Give what you want to see more of in your life. It is so key and it's of fundamental importance. Now, the last thing is, how do you love someone in a way that they best receive? And this is the 6 expressions of love. For those of you around the world, this is 6 in Chinese. So what do I mean by this? Not like a random thing that I just flick my hand. Okay, so 6 expressions of love. This is how it works. I realized, and you may have heard this story before. So I was with Evan. I fly to America. And in America, the plates are twice as big, right? So as opposed to a plate like this, in America, they're like this. They're huge plates, like huge. And as a British person, it's polite to finish everything that's on my plate. So I'm attempting to finish everything on my plate to be polite. Now, Asians often express love by giving you more food. So what's happening is I'm finishing everything on my plate. I'm being polite, I'm full, and then they're thinking, he's still hungry. We need to give him more. So then they give me more food. And now I'm thinking, they're challenging me. The war is on. So now I'm eating more food and I literally gained 30 pounds in 30 days. It was unreal. And one of the ways people express love is through food. Another way is through gifts. So for yourself, do you prefer receiving gifts or do you prefer receiving food? Often people that love food share a lot of food with others because it's how they best receive love. So they often share that with other people. So we've got food, we've got gifts. Other ones are positive words. If someone can give me loads of gifts, if they say, I'm proud of you, oh, you did an amazing job, that makes me feel over the moon. It's amazing. So positive words is really important. Other people don't really want positive words. They just want you to do stuff for them. These are service people, acts of service. They want you to do different things. They want you to take the trash out and then they feel love. All right, what are the other 2? We've got quality time. So some people love quality time. My fiance loves quality time. The more quality time she has with me, the better she feels. Then you have physical touch. So this is where you're hugging, where you are holding hands, and you have that physical interaction. So I want you to think about these 6 expressions of love. Which 2 do you value most? Do you like gifts? Do you like food? Maybe you like positive words. Are you someone that loves people spending time with you? Or are you someone that enjoys just physical touch? Or do you just like people doing stuff for you? So I want you to think about the 2 and maybe the one that's most important to you. And then reflect on this. The way you express love is often the same way in which you want to receive love. So let's say I really value words and positive words. I will share lots of positive words with my partner. But imagine this is a target, and what's most important for her is acts of service. And I don't do any acts of service. It means that I'm missing the love target. So I'm doing everything they need except what they actually need, right? So you're trying all these things, but you're not hitting the target. So I challenge you to think about with your partner how you can best hit that target and really move your life forward. So please implement these 6 principles, message me if you have any questions, and I really hope these 6 can help you start to create an outstanding relationship in your life. I look forward to speaking to you soon.